I'm angry. Also, yes, this is the final part. One part of what if take a dragon maid slash girlfriend. So let's just get on with this. Not even gonna get my introduction done because I already made a 20 minutes video about this, but my damn, I forgot to turn on the mic. This is why I always have a second recorder. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna download a second recorder just for the background games because I am done with just me forgetting to on the microphone. 20 minutes of damn recording down the drain. Yes, this video is probably gonna be less than that. So let's just get started. Kana goes to UA, beats a Bakugo, finishes the. Okay, this is getting too fast. Let me just stay. So this part is going to be the finale mostly because, well, how else are you going to continue this series in any sort of logical sense when you have a dragon that can basically make Armageddon and All for One is basically nothing but a multi-controversial threat? How are you going to deal with someone like Siraki when Midoriya probably is going to get that much powerful over time? I see no point of continuing this series, A, because I just want to finish this straight up. Let's just face it, part 1 and 2 may have just been the setup, but there was just me like realizing that at one point this series would have not just been stuck up, and I just realized the logical information. I try to make my character smart and logically informated, so yeah, let's just get on with this. So first day of UA came, Baku was a prick, trying to kind of didn't flick with saying oops. Aizawa would then just come telling their PE, and basically they would basically do it. Hey, Miss Kana, right? Kana would then say yeah. Aizawa would then throw the ball to her. What was your longest throw in middle school? About a happy football field. Everybody's brain was just crash except for Midoriya. Midoriya thinking to himself, yeah, that's a lie. Sticking to it harder. I guess keeping people on edge would be more nicer. So yeah, Kana does that throw and it basically just goes straight to face. As I would say infinity. Then we move on to basically the whole long jump. Midoriya would just basically plans wouldn't come to his feet before he just jumps up, immediately getting 1 point to your speed. As I wouldn't say that's technically cheating, but you are using a crook, so yeah. Wet leader getting second and Bakugo getting third. After that, we then move on to a long jump where Midoriya uses the same Eden's jump and just lands. Kana would just basically jump and so does everyone else. Next, we then move on to the grip stance where Kana would basically break it, Sarah would then get second, and Midoriya, well, he doesn't have one for all, nor does he have the proper training of his muscles. He focuses in his work, yet yes, he is pretty damn built, as you can see from the thumbnail of part 2. He was definitely training. So Midoriya basically just does that, and after training for a bit, but basically just just break the machine a little bit, not break it as kind of destroying it, but close enough. Well, then we move on to the side to side jump, and Midoriya basically just jump. Kana would just do it in fast, and Minato would just get first because it's Minato. So after that, it would be the ball throw, and Midoriya shooting at least 7.25 meters. I don't know if that's humanly possible, but I'm not calculating that speed, so yeah. But Aizawa being more impressed, Uraka would just hit infinity, and everyone else would didn't get a cannon score. Except for Bakugo, who gets a little bit higher, but not as high as Midoriya. So yeah, anyway, let's just move on to the scoreboard. Minato gets expelled because I'm seeing no point of him continuing with the story anyways, so yeah. Aizawa is actually serious in this timeline. So there is actually an even number of students, I think. Yeah, thanks to Kana, there was still an uneven number of students. So yeah, let's just move on. Next, 1 month later, we'll basically have the whole hero versus villains. Why 1 month later? Because I just straight up believe that it's 1 month later, not the next day, because all the people seem to be way more, and this is actually going to be a team in all my what ifs 1 month later. So All Might would then come saying that I'm walking into the door like a normal person, but everyone would be like, no, that's not normal. Kana would be the one to point out that, but it wouldn't say, yeah. And so we then basically move on to the testing area, and basically not just gonna just say Bakugo and Uraka got a team, and Midoriya and Kana. Midoriya would basically just Kana would fly up Midoriya before he just breaks it with a fist landing down. Bakugo wouldn't start a fight. Midoriya wouldn't dodge the fight as Bakugo wouldn't start using his explosions as Bakugo wouldn't try and hit Kana. But Midoriya would be there kicking him away. Bakugo would then hit the wall at the floor before Midoriya then slams him down. Midoriya would then land up before saying, well, if anyone is hearing this guy doesn't deserve a hero status or anything like that. Bakugo would then realize, don't you dare. This man literally bullied me. Bullied me before I got my quirk. Damn you, deku! Before Bakugo goes trying to hit Midoriya, Midoriya will just grab Bakugo before slamming him to the ground before kicking him away. Bakugo would then try to move before his head was then cut off by Midoriya before he just hits the wall again. Midoriya would then kick Bakugo away before he then thinks, let's just end this. Forming a sword with his sword, Eden's sword. All Might would then say, Midoriya, don't! As blood would then come out of Bakugo's body, Bakugo would then say, damn you. Fall down before Midoriya says, Eden's heal. Before a bad flower would then come, heal Bakugo enough till he doesn't die. Oh, don't worry, he's not dead. Midoriya's plans would then turn a little bit of crimson before he just absorbs it back. So yeah, after that we basically have the group of Deku Squad being formed. With Midoriya, with Studio, and everyone else. First thing first, Raka would then ask, so, what is the deal with Kana and you? You seem to be very close. Oh, Kana's my girlfriend, / family maid. Leader would then say, is your family by chance doing a thing where they have multiple maids and then you choose the one who you want to marry after getting along with one of them? Leader would then laugh. He would say, my dad tried to do that when I was young, but no, it's not. Ah, I see. You must be from a wealthy family. I am. Uraka would then say, oh, how much money do you have? He spends a lot of them casually. His pocket money is $20 million. Uraka would then say, what? What? Lend me some money. How about your stability in the family? Stability. Midoriya would then say, a lot. Midoriya would then give her one of her credit cards. Take this and give it to your family. I have a ton of money. Like, either ones are, if it's not even gonna spend 1/4 of it. Thank you. Raka would then say, yes. Now we then move on to the USA incident, because I'm just gonna skip the class rep, Midoriya's class rep. Midoriya gives a speech, everyone calms down, and basically now let's move. As I would basically start to explain everything as a portal would then open up. From that portal comes out Shigaraki, but another man wearing a black suit, helmet, and a bow tie. He would then say, oh, All Might. All Might would be shocked. Yes, All Might is here mostly because Kana healed him in part 1 and he's basically a tipped. So All Might would then say, All for One, before slamming his fist straight into All for One's face, sending him out. Before another one steps up, let me handle this, Siki. The hood would then finally be removed as Kana recognizes this figure is the Raisin's last successor. Kana would immediately unturn awake before grabbing the woman and slamming her straight out of the USJ or unforeseen simulation joint. Not Universal Studios Japan for people that don't know. Boy. I'm really not in the motivation to. I do want to finish this series as universe as possible, don't I? So yeah, let's just continue, I guess. Midoriya would basically just land down Shigaraki, but Shigaraki would then immediately just jump at him with full speed, ready to grab it before Midoriya Todoroki would then say, what the hell is going on? His eyes would then just immediately decay as Shigaraki would then say, you're not my target. Yes. Midoriya would then immediately just kick Shigaraki away before landing down, before he would then start pulling out his vines, attacking Shigaraki with them. Shigaraki would just start decaying the vines as he would then start coming at Midoriya. Midoriya's face would then immediately punch him away before Midoriya then thinks, yeah, this is not going to be easy, before he just kicks Shigaraki away. Shigaraki would then just immediately get up trying to come at Midoriya. C-O-M-E. For all you dirty people out there, I hope you go to hell. Midoriya would then immediately grab Shigaraki's arm before twisting it and slamming him to the ground. Shigaraki would then immediately just put his face as Midoriya would think, what the hell is it? Boom. Midoriya gets sent flying as Shigaraki would then get off. Now we switch into a different position as All Might and All for One would be fighting. All Might would be basically sending All for One fighting, using his more of speed to basically take him down. All for One would basically be protecting him. Before All Might then finally makes a clean blow, which breaks the All for One's helmet. Shocking All Might, All for One would then say, are you surprised that I have my old face back? All Might? All Might would then just say, yes. All for One would then say, I expected more of a reaction, but All for One's face will get pummeled by All Might before he then thinks, Why did I think that he would just stand still and let me punch him before Alpha 1 didn't get crashed to the building? At the same time, many players didn't realize. So the current top 10 would have immediately beat her. Media and with Hawks and Devers and everyone else's hound, they would start fighting Alpha 1. This time, Alpha 1 is not fighting just All Might. He's fighting every pro hero at once that is here to help All Might. At least the one in the top 10. Meanwhile, back to Kana. Kana would have basically sent a dragon to basically space, as she would basically just be fisting her to death. Before she then thinks, yeah, no, I'm not taking any chances with you. Her wings would then immediately come out as she would then immediately grab Kana before slamming her straight to the ground. As with Earth's atmosphere, her body would then start to burn before landing at the water. She would then immediately slam to the ocean floor, splitting the water in half. As she would then punch Kana in the guts, more water would then come out. Before she can make another one, her face would be grabbed before Kana then hit, just sending her flying. Kana would then immediately fold her wings before going up, before punching in the face, before turning into her dragon forms. Blast of hell! We then go back to Midoriya. Midoriya would basically start using his techniques trying to block up Shigaraki's. Shigaraki would then immediately grab Midoriya in the neck before he says, before he then gets punched and his arm would then get sliced off. Shigaraki would then say his arm then grows back before he just sees Midoriya's covered in a plant. Yeah, plant seal. Kind of works. You can't indicate something that is blocked. Fuck off. Shigaraki would then try to hit Midoriya before Midoriya basically just powers. And Eraserhead would try to use his quirk on Shigaraki, but he would be the first one taken out, as Rikabuchi would be healing, being there protecting him. Midoriya would basically start making multiple cuts as he forms another one, for this time dual wielding them, and start to cut down Shigaraki pieces. As Shigaraki would then say, this is not fair. This is not fair. You are a cheater. Shigaraki would then immediately put down all 5 of his fingers and then die. As the ground would then immediately come out, Midoriya would then immediately just straight up go to Shigaraki, slicing him vertically down his chest. And before there then comes out blood from his mouth, as Midoriya would then kick Shigaraki in the face. Endeavor and All Might and All for One would all just fight off. And as they're fighting, Kana would then appear with All for One saying, how is this possible? They made sure you were distracted. Kana would then grab All for One's face before slamming him straight to a few buildings. As All for One would then get sent flying, Kana would then immediately look up before kicking him in the stomach. Yeah, that dragon of yours is dead.
Minecraft.
And that master of yours, or, well, should I say descendant of you, is going to. Before she can finish, let's cut back to Midoriya. As Midoriya would then start cutting off Shigaraki's arms, Shigaraki would then start to grow, using his air blast to propel Midoriya up. But Midoriya would then just say, Lilith's rat. Shigaraki's arms and everything would then be grabbed before a sword would then come, slicing straight through Shigaraki's. As Shigaraki would then end there, after dying, his body would then start to dust. We cut back to Kana, which he would see would bite the dragon. As he would then see a black boy. Sorry about that, my brother just brought my cat into this room. So yeah, let's continue. Before she then immediately sends an electric blast, hitting the dragon. The dragon would then get up trying to hit Kana, using fire to cut her off, but Kana would just kick her in the face, sending her away. As she would then punch the dragon in the face, square in the jaw. As she would then just get yeeted away, the dragon would then try to get up, trying to hit her in the face before Kana then slams her straight to her arm before, well, her arm straight up goes to her heart. Kana would then pull it out before crossing the heart. Before the dragon would then start to get up, feeling stun of death, and she would then immediately cross the other heart. Coming it out, the dragon would then say, give it back. Kana would then notice at them, this is not your heart, this is the boy's. Give it back! She would immediately scream out before Kana then crosses it. Rudolph, but during the war you did kill a few of my friends after all, and then you killed her. Don't pay for the rat you brought to me. And now die. As her body would immediately fall in water. Kana wouldn't think that she needs to inform the other dragons about this mess and have them clean off. Or she then thinks, no, it's better if your body is not found. She wouldn't immediately sustain to her eye before she wouldn't say, looks like she managed to definitely get a scratch on my eye. Whatever. As she wouldn't fly off. At the same time that was happening, Sigaraki's head would have fallen down and turned to dust. Midori wonders where the hell he's going before. Damn you, rat! Punch heart wouldn't be crushed before she uses a blast, obliterating him. And All Might would then say, thank you. No problem. And Debber and Hawks would then say, we need an explanation. All Might explains to them and they would then say, yeah, we'll keep this a secret. Now let's move on to the sports festival. Everything happens the same except for the fact that Midori wins. Midori explains it to the rookie. Next thing, we move to the whole new agency arc. Midori doesn't train with Gran Torino, he trains with Kamui Wood, thanks to them having similar plant-based powers. And saying this as to, he says, nah, I'm not gonna do anything. He already saw in the news how this Kana fellow, like, he's a god level threat probably, so he's not gonna face them, so he just disappears. So no whole new League of anything. After a while, we go to graduations, and Midoriya would basically be graduating. After that, he would marry Kana, which basically would make her his wife. And after a while, Midoriya would then basically become the new #1 hero, becoming the symbol of life. Meanwhile, that was happening. Let me explain what the villains were going to. Toga would have been eventually captured by the police and basically sent to therapy. A lot of that. After a while, she would basically become a free citizen, with her needs being satisfied. The whole Liberation Frontier, after realizing what Kana did, because it was a global event, would then think to stick to more of the politics situation, and managed to make it so that people with quirks got a lot more freedom to using them, but at the same time was put to live with strict laws. They even realized that the 80% was a bunch of bullshit, and it was the 90%, because the 80% came from the older generation, while the 90% was more of a fitting, seeing how it was for the higher percentage of people. And after a while, Kana would then realize that seeing that she couldn't only just be in Japan, starts going globally, becoming this global dragon hero and basically protecting everyone around the world, living every place crime rate down to at least a 6%, never letting that much higher because she knows that at least some evil has to be in this world for good to arise, and without good no evil can properly come. It's a pretty much methodology. Midoriya after a while would realize that having just one symbol of peace, or well, in his case, symbol of life, is not good. So he makes a pillar of people that if one falls, there's still few more, keeping them up. He calls us the Hero League. In him would be him, Izuku Midoriya, a man wearing a bad costume who is calling himself Batman, with no quirks, which Midoriya is very impressed, becomes a symbol of fear. He would then meet with Kana, who becomes a symbol of hope for people. And of course he does. Midoriya would obviously be the symbol of life, and with All Might giving his quirk to let's just say a kid, another quirkless child he met a while ago, would eventually become the symbol of peace. But there would also be a few in the dark. After all, with the series Sakai still being defeated, and All for One defeated, there was the year's power vacuum. From it was another man who came into the circle, becoming the symbol of, well, darkness and evil. And he challenged, but also becoming a symbol of death. He went by the villain name of straight up death. Not metaphorically, not rhetorically, or any sort of fancy way. Literally death. With Midoriya constantly fighting him, becoming the All for One of his time. And I'm gonna end the series off. If you guys liked this sort of short part, it was kind of longer. But people, also I have a question for you. After this series is technically finished, I want to ask you a few questions. Would you like to see a continuation in a different sort of way? It's going to be my own individual story and doing with this new concept. After all, I let it open to interpretations of what this new villain will be, what kind of causes it can. Anyone is basically willing to pick up this story, you have my permission to pick up this and continue from it. Or if you think you can write a better story and better parts of these, you are willing to go with the concept as well. I want to be someone that basically gives some what ifs to people. Anyways, with this finish, I have two other what ifs in the standby that could fill in the spot. One of them already has a part, and the other one I have made the thumbnail and story beats for. I just want people to know which one they want. Also, let's get to another point of my older stories, and that is basically my older what ifs. Like, what if Ash was experienced? What if deku was into the Pokemon universe? What if Asta had destruction magic? All of these are being cancelled except for one. What if Deku Squawk? I have more and everything planned for that series already, and feeling that if I cancel it, it would basically be a waste. For my Black Clover people, we actually will release another part of another brand new Black Clover series. It's gonna be something very different than the others because I am actually to make it a lot more interesting of a part. Due to it being fixed in a certain way, I'm not so sure about. But for now, peace and have a nice day, everyone. Cameo. What the fuck did I just say last?